The Apostle Paul wrote in the book of Philippians, "For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain." Philippians 1:21. Now that's looking forward. Thinking about it, if you are an unbeliever, then death is the end of all your hopes and dreams of all that you've lived for. But if you are a believer in Christ, then death is the beginning of all your hopes and dreams of all that you've lived for. And so you're filled with a longing for a better country, a heavenly one. How is heaven better than earth? Heaven is better in every way. Heaven is better than earth because it is a lasting world rather than a passing world. As we read in 1 Corinthians 7, verse 31, the world in its present form is passing away. Heaven is a holy place. 2 Peter 3, verse 13 calls heaven a home of righteousness. Heaven is a better place because it is a place of joy rather than a place of sadness. Revelation 21:4 tells us that in heaven there will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. And of course, heaven is a better place than earth because we will be with Jesus. We will see Christ face to face. And nothing could be better than that. Heaven is our true home, and that's why we should long for heaven. Hebrews 11:16 reads, "Therefore God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he has prepared a city for them." Revelation 21:3 tells us that when Christ returns and brings us to heaven, God will proclaim in a loud voice from the throne, "Now the dwelling of God is with men, and he will live with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God." God delights to tell and call his people, and he delights to proclaim himself as our God. How do we know for certain that God is not ashamed to be called our God? Hebrews 11:16 says, "For he has prepared a city for us." This is the eternal city. Jesus said in John 14, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God, trust also in me. In my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you. I'm going there to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you may also be where I am." John 14, 1 to 3. In fact, God has prepared a whole city for us. The Apostle John wrote down his vision of the city in Revelation 21 when he says, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband." So, as a Christian, we do not belong here on earth. Heaven is our home, and we are part of God's family. God is not ashamed to be God, called our God, and what a beautiful place it is. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what God has prepared for those who love Him. 1 Corinthians 2 verse 9. True biblical faith means longing for heaven. Are you longing for heaven? Be blessed.